Chat, yeah, lost. Guess what happened? It's time we lose. We gotta come back as a starter. We lost 'cause we wasn't starting. It's okay. They're gonna put some
Now let's check
respect on
out
my
the
name.
Sprite ice-cold keys to the game. All right, so Clark taking a look at the Bucks. What's going to be the key for them?
Well, they've got to find a way to limit Dwight Howard. No question about it. He's an imposing force with his shot blocking ability. You might have thought he played volleyball the way he spikes him down. When they drive it to the rack, they better know where he is.
And Clark, how about Orlando? What's the key for them?
How about the outstanding point guard, Jameer Nelson? Had a terrific season shooting the basketball last year.
And people kind of thought that point guard position may be the one thing Orlando has to get over to be good.
You know, Kevin, I think Jameer took that to heart and really wanted to prove that he can handle that spot, and he's done it beautifully.
We'll see how it pans out. Thanks, Clark. And here now the Magic after the basket by Milwaukee. Here's Nelson. Off from three-point land. And here are the Bucks now. Their last meeting was in Orlando, where they were unable to fight off the Magic.
And they lost big, Kevin, against them the last time. The rebound differential tells part of the story there. They simply got dominated on the backboard.
Shorty, guarded by Nelson. Here is Mbamute, and makes it. Astonishing. He's got 5. Clark, once you start hitting the glass and pulling down those rebounds, good things always seem to happen.
You're exactly right. You get second chance opportunities. You keep the other team from getting set back up again. So it's so important to get those opportunities.
Now Carter. Last game we saw him score 13. To Maxiel from close range. Graceful finish.
Excellent anticipation there, Kev. He placed that pass perfectly.
On defense, Orlando. It's a 3-point game. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out. Shorty buries the short-range jumper.
Great execution here. A perfect start from the field. They've made all 3.
Lewis. From 20 feet out. The shot, no good. And the Bucks going the other way right now. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of Miami.
I think they fell short on the defensive side of the ball, at that end of the floor. I think had they played a little tougher, a more cohesive game when they didn't have the orange, they would have had a bigger game than they did.
Orlando trailing here. Now Nelson. Here's Lewis. He's guarded by Mbamute. Gets in close. Lewis misses. Milwaukee in the lead. Thomas up top. Here's Shorty. Sean Lewis pulls it in.
Oh,
What more can he ask for?
that was
Came
horrible.
up against very little defensive resistance, then boxed. That should be illegal, Kevin.
So it's Milwaukee. Down low. Here's Warwick. Played in softly off the glass.
They're really giving them all they can handle here. The defense is having a hard time keeping up.
Nelson cranes it for 3.
Terrific pick to set up that basket. The little things are the big things, and they can always make a difference.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game. Already it's February. Let's see how the East is matching up. Taking a look at Orlando. Right now they've compiled the 3rd best record in the conference. And of course Milwaukee just need to take it a game at a time.
Always a challenge when you're in the midst of a second game of a back-to-back, but you got to find a way to get your energy up, get your rest first, and then bring your energy to the court.
So it's Milwaukee now. They lead by 4 to 0. Oh, barely misses the shot, but he'll go to the line for two. That one on Nelson.
A well-used foul there to prevent the easy layup.
Good on number 2. And here now the Magic, trailing by 5. Here's Lewis, coming off a stellar performance against Detroit. Five on the shot clock. Ready. The 3. It bounces out of bounds after the shot. And now let's highlight the highest scoring teams in the NBA. Look at Orlando. They're top 5, a team that likes to get up and down the court.
They score the ball so well and so quickly because they play with great freedom. I mean, everybody is confident in each other. They know the coaches are giving them the green light. As long as it's a good shot, you're free to take it at any time. And that's how they play. Full throttle all the time with a lot of freedom.
And it heads out of bounds. Last touch by the Bucks. And here now the Magic. 7-point differential. Here's Nelson, dumps it off. Here's Lewis, nails the train.
And that's great court vision, Kevin. Even when he was about to shoot, he was still able to spot the open man.
Shorty threw this one out of bounds and turns it over. Shorty really has his fingerprints all over this one.
These last few minutes have been something else as far as passing goes.
He has been doing a great job of moving the ball around, and Clark finding his open man. He really has this team clicking now.
This is just one of those examples of watching a player make a huge difference in the game with his passing as opposed to his shooting.
Ridnow. The shot is off. The Bucks have taken the early lead.
Well, they're in attack mode now, Kevin. Every time they get the ball, they're coming right at you, looking for contact and looking for buckets right at the 10.
And we end an exciting first quarter. The score, 14-10. And here we go, ready for some more good action in the second quarter. And here are the Bucks now. They lead by 4. It's
Joe wrong,
but it's tracked down by Shorty. Here's Bogut, hits the jump hook.
Great assist on that basket. He's seeing the floor well, and he's making some beautiful passes.
And coming up this Friday, we'll see Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers. They'll play host to the Denver Nuggets. Things get underway at 7:30 Eastern.
Could be fun to watch.
And here now the Magic. The Bucks missing that time. Here's Gordon. Puts the hammer down.
Kick it to the right guy at the right time. That's a good pass.
Here's Milwaukee now. Here's Bogut. 2 hands for safety.
He's not the guy you would expect to compete in the dunk contest, but he can still throw it down when he needs to.
Carter backs him down. Nelson nails the easy jumper. He has 5.
They've been lights out. I mean, I like what I'm seeing right here. Still down on the scoreboard, but you get the sense that they're moving in the right direction. That's a heck of a job to lay it in around the taller defender, Kevin. Lovely, agile finish.
And now the first timeout called here for the Magic. And as we get a break, let's take a look at some of the scores from last night's games. Suns grab one on the road. New Orleans taking the loss there. It's a road loss for the Bobcats. A win there for Portland. The Lakers pick up a road win. The Grizzlies losing in Memphis. And that's all we have for you right now. And here is Maxime. He's guarded by Mbamute. And here are the Bucks now. 7-point differential. Here's Red. Buries the triple. He has 5.
You've got to get to an open guy behind the arc, especially one with his shooting stroke.
To Carter. Guarded by Red. Pulls up from the elbow. And that is good. Nice bucket by the 12th-year veteran out of North Carolina. Here's Shorty. Puts it in on the layup.
The defense left him just a little window to get through, and he just ducked in for the layup. Terrific job.
Now Nelson. 5 points in the game. To the inside. Barnes lays it in. Sweet dime to lead him to the rack. Milwaukee in the lead. And be sure to tune in next Monday. The San Antonio Spurs will be playing away from San Antonio. And they'll take on the Los Angeles Lakers. Start time 7:30 Eastern.
You know they're going to be extra hyped up for this one.
You're right. On defense, Orlando. Trailing here by 8. Elson was parked down low and got hit with the 3-second call. And we have a chance now to check out.
What they said, bro, they are cheap. Oh my God, yeah.
The leaders in team rebounds. Look at Orlando. 3rd in rebounding, and what a physical presence inside.
They're one of the premier rebounding teams for a reason. They prioritize it. I mean, it's a team thing with these guys. They expect anybody on the court to get a rebound. And that's what they do. They get after rebounds, and they hold each other accountable in that area of the game.
And here are the Bucks. To the right wing. To Bogut. Here's Petrus. Off the mark with the 3-ball.
He's typically money from out there, but he couldn't strike that one.
Here's Maxiel. Great finish in traffic. 8 points for him.
That's where you're going to get the high percentage looks. Easy 2 there.
Shorty. He's guarded by Williams. Bogut. To 0 from 20 feet out. That's good. And here is Williams. The Magic good out for the quick shot here. That would leave him with the final possession. Barnes. A missed 3.
You can't usually afford to leave him alone out there. Big break for the defense.
Shorty backs down. Here's Petrus. Nails it from the wing. And here now the Magic. It's a 10-point game. The Wizards on the road to face them after this game. That'll be the latter half of this 2-game homestand. Here's Petrus. Nets it from the wing. The Bucks
have been on the scoring tear, Kevin.
Yeah, but still plenty of time left. This game is far from over. And that concludes the first half. The score, 34-22. Well, it's time for our T-Mobile halftime report. All right, let's look at the team stats. The Bucks have been able to score so easy that it seems almost effortless.
Yeah, they're putting on a clinic out there, as you can see from their sky-high field goal percentage.
Shorty has started off well.
And Kevin, he leads the game in assists. He's made some great dishes in the first half.
Hello and welcome back. We're glad you're with us. The NBA so many times comes down to a game of runs, and we'll see if a run here will turn this thing around as we get underway. And here are the Bucks now. A 12-point game. Thomas down low, working on Howard. 6 seconds to shoot. Shorty. Almost a three-point opportunity. Instead, he'll go to the line for two. That one on Nelson.
Looked like a good call from here where I see definitely some contact on that shot.
He misses them both.
Good job hustling here. I mean, making the extra effort. When you're down, you have to do all of the little things, Kevin.
And they do have a slight disadvantage. And here is Red. He has 5. Lead pass inside. Shot's good from Mbamute. And Clark, you mentioned hustle. They have to turn it up a notch.
Yeah, that's right, Kevin. Intensity. You have to bring that to the court every time you step between the lines, and that's exactly what they have to have here. They've got to be more tenacious. They've got to play with more purpose and more focus and more drive.
Here's Nelson. Cranes the open jumper. He's got 7.
You've got to close out on that mid-range jump shot. He's extremely deadly from there.
Here's Red from inside. Shorty leads the game in assists. Now Carter. Right now averaging 21 points a game. Now a timeout called by Orlando. We know they've come close over the years, had their hearts broken in the playoffs, and so often, Clark, that's the journey of becoming a champion. Ask the Detroit Pistons. Ask the Chicago Bulls. Ask a lot of these teams with great players how they've had to fight through this, this very tough road to become champions. We'll see if this is the season that they finally turn that hard-won experience into a championship.
Well, Kevin, the progression you highlight there with those patterns.
Now Nelson. 9 points in the game so far. Screen by Howard. To Carter. Kept alive. Lewis makes the long-distance connection. 8 points for him.
They're straying away from the three-point game here in the second half. That's fine as long as they're on the lead and they're getting good shots. They decided not to take nearly as many three-pointers in this half.
Now Nelson. The Bucks missing that time. Here's Lewis. Hits. Nice pass leading into the bucket.
Beautiful delivery with the bounce pass. He kept it away from the defense, which set up the shot perfect.
7-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Snatched away.
He got caught napping. You've got to pay attention and protect the field.
And Nelson gets it to go.
Kevin, this guy keeps constant pressure on the defense whenever he has the ball. He's a good decision maker. He can score it, and he's also a terrific passer. He seems to always make the right decision with the ball.
Shorty backs in with the fadeaway, misses the buzzer beater.
Boy, after a mediocre first half, the defense has really come to play here. They've picked up the intensity. They've become much more aggressive and intense at that end of the floor, and that's why they've improved their effort there.
Both. Now Carter. 6-point game. Now Nelson. He's got 11. Fires top of the key, and Nelson gets it to go.
He can't be stopped. He's having a party out there.
The Bucks trail. Shorty. Now Mbamute. Turnover by the Bucks. And mark your calendars for an upcoming special event. It'll be an NBA event for the history books. What will be the largest turnout ever for a basketball event? This year's All-Star Weekend in Dallas, Texas.
Well, I'm really excited about this year's All-Star game, as I always am. It's always fun to go down there and see some familiar faces that aren't playing in the league anymore, but are still a great part of the sport.
But they're the reason why the league is so great.
Well said.
And here are the Bucks now, trailing here by 8. Down low. Here's Red. Kisses it off the glass and in.
These clubs have been lighting up the scoreboard all game long.
The dump off to Nelson. Carter lays it right in. They extend the lead to 8.
He's just so gifted offensively. He's a tough guy to match up with.
Stripped away by Nelson.
And Kev, that's only his first giveaway for the game.
To Nelson. Here's Lewis. Scooped up. Howard in the post. Thomas is there. Over and Mbamute. He's done a great job, Clark, of controlling the ball.
Boy, he sure has, Kevin. I mean, focus and quality ball handling. Very impressive. He's really had a positive impact on his team with that kind of work.
On defense, Orlando. A great fourth quarter, just giving up 2 points. Here's Shorty, got a piece of it, but they get it back. Red, it's in for 3. Nice shot by the 10th-year veteran out of Ohio State. Now Carter. Guarded by Red. To Nelson. Gets a good look. Red with the rebound.
Well, he can't believe that one didn't fall. Those are usually automatic.
Intercepted.
I think this quarter particularly, we're seeing them having trouble keeping possession of the ball. Far too many turnovers right now.
And it's Milwaukee's ball. Shorty, guarded by Nelson. Red. Shot misses. So Orlando will take it the other way. And Clark, when you see the kind of plays where they're unable to run their offense, as a coach, you start getting concerned.
Oh, without question. I mean, you have plays set up, you know your players can run them, and then they throw the ball away. You don't like to see that. They're not concentrating, trying to make a play, but it's about court awareness, understanding not only where your teammates are, but where's the defense. You've got to be able to understand and see both.
Shorty gets the reach-in call. That's his first foul of the game. Now Carter. Now Nelson. Knocks down the trifecta.
He had one in the first as well. He can be dangerous. Keep an eye on him.
I mean, I went for a steal, but I ain't fouled nobody.
Now let's go over to Cheryl Miller. Cheryl.
Well, guys, I had a chance to talk to the Magic. He told me, finish strong inside. I want dunks, layups, or free throws. He made it pretty plain. He wants them in attack mode. Kevin?
Thank you, Cheryl. Here's Carter, in close, lays it right in. They're in front, 65-51. It stays here.
Good heads-up play to deflect that pass. That's why you stay active on defense with your hand. Make them use that clock.
So it's Milwaukee now. It's a 14-point game. Now Mbamute. Right wing. Here's Red. Trains it from just inside the three-point line.
This guy's really providing a lot of offense for him right now.
Now Carter. He's got 6. To Carter. Lewis. Off target for 3. And here are the Bucks now. Down by 12. To Mbamute. Kept alive. Dumps it off. Warren shoots from the corner. Rebounded by Howard.
No defense there to bother the shot, and he still misfired. His coach does not look happy.
Got a piece of it. Stolen by the Bucks.
Less than a minute remaining now. Looks like this one's all but done, Kev.
That's good.
It's a great look ahead up court to set up the easy, fast break finish.
The Magic can just sit on it to end the game. The Magic walk away with a double-digit victory as they defeat the Bucks 65-55. For his steady play, Jameer. Time for us to say goodbye. For Clark Kellogg, Cheryl Miller, and me, Kevin Harlan, thanks for joining us for this presentation of the NBA.
Nice job out there. Your shot selection was outstanding tonight. Some of them didn't fall, but that doesn't mean they weren't good shots. The important thing to remember is not to lose your focus. When that happens, you'll begin to force bad shots. Hey, I'm not sure if you're aware, but your man was lighting up the scoreboard on you out there. If you want people to take you seriously, you can't let that happen, ever. To sum it all up, keep doing what you're doing and work on the minor details.
And now it's time for the Sprite ice-cold keys to the game. All right, so Clark, taking a look at the Bucks, what's going to be the key for them?
Well, David Lee is a guy they definitely need to account for. He's an excellent rebounder on both backboards, so you've got to get into him and deny him prime position inside.
As for New York, Clark, what about the Knicks? What do they need to do to secure a win?
Well, Kev, Kurt Thomas is a guy they've got to keep under control. He is a ferocious offensive rebounder. So box him out, know where he is. Don't even worry about rebounding the ball. Get your body on him, keep him off the glass.
So it's Milwaukee following the basket by Al Harrington. Here's Shorty, gets in close, graceful finish.
Nice speed. That's the way to keep the ball moving.
Robinson, kept alive. Here's Lee, tries to lay it in, but it doesn't go. On offense here, the Bucks. Last game matched up with the Magic. A tough loss there.
I didn't think we saw a real strong outing defensively from them, Kevin. And very few teams can get away with winning, maybe a handful of games, if that, relying solely on their offense. Not a bad foul there, Kevin. You don't want him to get the easy layup.
Gets them both. Now Robinson. Last game he had 28 points. Here's Harrington, hits the jump hook.
Easy look in the paint. Defense got abused there.
On defense, New York. This is the second meeting of the year against this Bucks team.
A team they handled all right in their last meeting. Solid play down low, controlled the boards. That's helped out a lot.
And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Knicks. Petrie is in at small forward. So it's Milwaukee now. Clark, it seems like a lot of these games come down to that one step. Can you get a rebound? Can you take away the opportunity for a putback?
Well, you're right, Kevin. That's exactly right. If you're a guy that is a monster down there, you don't have to score. You don't have to block shots. You'll have a spot on any team that can grab rebounds and gobble up boards.
That was your mantra when you played, wasn't it?
Well, that was one of them, yes, sir.
And here are the Bucks now, after Al Harrington's three-pointer that didn't go. To Mbamute. From short range. Shots good from Mbamute.
Well, it's been a good shooting start to the game. Shooting 75% from the field on their first 4 shots.
Now Robinson. Right now averaging 21 points a game. The little man in big-time basketball, Nate Robinson.
I call him the big little man. Because, man, does he have a big heart and can he make big plays. Boy, you see that football background coming out and how he recklessly attacks the basket and how he's so fearless. And at his size, he's a little dynamo and a lot of fun to watch.
Him in that dunk contest a couple of years ago.
I'm dying.
The fact that he took so many times on the last effort and finally had the strength enough to convert the
That's
dunk.
a great point.
Oh, my goodness. That was worth winning it in and of itself. He should have won it for that. My goodness.
Now Robinson following the bucket by the Bucks.
Baseline.
Harrington. Robinson. Hawked target for 3. Milwaukee in the lead. Here's Shorty, connects from in close. 8 points for him.
Excellent anticipation there, Kev. He placed that pass perfect.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. They defeated the Wizards in their last game.
The job they did on the offensive side of the ball was excellent. Actually, it was great. They took care of every possession, getting a good distribution of their shooters, got a nice flow at the offensive end, and had their shooters, their key shooters, in a good rhythm early on.
Here's Hughes. 8 points his last outing.
Kevin, that's the kind of shot you want. You can't ask for better execution on offense, but sometimes they just don't fall.
The Bucks will hold on to it. Now we have a moment to see the best rebounding teams in the league. Take a look at New York. Such a solid presence inside, tough to handle.
They're one of the premier rebounding teams for a reason. They prioritize it. I mean, it's a team thing with these guys. They expect anybody on the court to get a rebound. And that's what they do. They get after rebounds, and they hold each other accountable in that area of the game.
Warwick in the post. Harrington's there. Warwick was parked down low and got hit with the 3-second call. Already it's February. Let's see how the East is matching up. Take a look at the Knicks. Their season filled with ups and downs. 10th right now in the conference. And, of course, the Milwaukee Bucks. They're at the bottom of the conference.
Kevin, it's hard to put a finger on it, but anytime you're struggling, you lose confidence. And guys are walking around with their chin in their chest. Nobody is enthusiastic. Things go against them, and one bad play leads to 2, 2 lead to 4, and it just perpetuates itself. They've got to fight themselves out of it with consecutive good plays, and maybe they can get on track.
So it's Milwaukee. Here's Warwick. Lays it in. Sweet time to lead into the rack.
And right now, Kevin, they're getting everything they want and sending a message while they're doing it.
To Blake. Pulls up from the elbow. Good from 11 feet out. So it's Milwaukee. 6-point lead. Bogut in close. Harrington with the rebound. We talked about sending a message, Clark. This certainly is one way to do that.
Well, it really is, Kevin. I mean, it's demoralizing to a defense when you can't and don't consistently get stops.
And the basket by Blake.
Some players really look for the three-point shot in transition. It's one of the best times to shoot it. You have to be a sharpshooter, though, and of course, he is.
New York on D. It's a 3-point game. 5-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Stolen.
You got caught napping. You've got to pay attention and protect the field.
Deflects the pass. Stolen away by the Bucks. Here's Red. Lays it right in. The Bucks with the early lead.
Well, they're in attack mode now, Kevin. Every time they get the ball, they're coming right at you, looking for contact.
All right, the first quarter had a lot of good action. I think we'll be in for some more here in the second.
Last month was definitely our best one on basketball.
So it's Milwaukee.
But we,
And invite that
each
special
month we
Valentine
done
to
started
watch some
out
hoops
loose.
this Valentine's Day. It'll be Kevin.
We just lost the first game when it went to the Magic. But I tried to break the curse. The first couple games.
Now Blake. He's got 5. Here's Chandler. Drains the easy jumper. Sweet touch by the third-year man out of DePaul.
Get the perimeter! Get the perimeter!
Low block. Mba Abute kisses it off the glass and in.
Well, it's almost impossible to miss when the D is playing that soft.
Here's Robinson. Buries the corner jumper. So it's Milwaukee. 3-point lead. Next up will be a home game matched up against the Pacers. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home. Here's Shorty. The shot is off. So the Knicks will take it the other way. Shorty hits the reach-in call. That's his first foul. Into Harrington. Hangs in the air. Lays it right in.
What an acrobatic finish. I love the dunk, but you got to give it up for that kind of layup.
And Milwaukee calls their first timeout of the game. Let's check out the leaders in field goal percentage as a team. Taking a look at Milwaukee. They're deadly accurate. Third in the NBA.
With all of the great shooters they have, it's almost easy to think that they would shoot a high percentage. But there's some other factors at play here. They're unselfish. They set good screens. They move well without the ball. And they're disciplined in that they don't take just any shot. They want the best shot available, and that's usually what they get.
Here's Hughes, averaging 12 points a game. Now Robinson. Down low. Curry. Connects from 13 feet out. They cut it to 1.
Well, that's a nice dime. What a dime. He dished it inside, and it was right on target.
Shorty, guarded by Robinson. To Bogut. Curry meets him. Kept alive. Here's Shorty. Goes back up. Finally knocks it down. 12 points for him.
Snares the offensive rebound, then sends it home.
Hughes. Easy shot. The bank shot won't fall.
He really needs to hit that consistently, or they'll just keep letting him shoot it.
Here's what's going on tomorrow night. It'll be Joe Johnson and the Atlanta Hawks. They'll be in Washington, D.C. to take on the Wizards. It'll be a 7 o'clock start time.
You can count on it that both teams want to win.
Yep. New York calls timeout.
Atlanta is the Atlanta and the Lakers. If I could get past Atlanta, because I know if I could come out with some games, I know we can take it.
Some adjustments here for the Knicks.
We gotta get 5.
Here's Hughes. 2:07 left in the half. His first shot of the game. The shot by Hughes, no good.
Tough break there, Kev. He found an opening on the floor and got a nice clear look. Just didn't convert.
On the perimeter. Elsa to the left wing. Here's Warwick. Puts it in off the sweet pick. He has 6.
The defender couldn't get around the pick, and his help didn't show up in time. Nice play for the layup right there.
Blake misses. Milwaukee in the lead. To 0. Down low. Warren. And Lee pulls it down. New York trailing. To Hughes. From close range. Finished off the break.
That's a nice finish in transition, partner. That's exactly how you run the break.
Here's Red off the screen. Finishes with the soft touch.
Great pick there. The defender was stopped in his track, and it freed up the easy basket.
Here's Lee. Brings it in. Sweet time to lead into the rack.
Boy, after having a tough time in the first, he's managed to turn it around nicely this quarter.
Warwick. Chandler on him. Here's Bogut.
No,
So got it by the Knicks.
It's too difficult to squeeze that pass low.
Flushes it with the one-handed jam. So it's Milwaukee. It's a 3-point game. Shorty. It's rebounded by Larry Hughes.
Looked like he had
They all don't fit.
That's a bad miss that close to the goal. This has been a fast-paced game, Kevin.
I know.
The clock runs out and we're heading to halftime. The score, 30-27.
To the race.
Now it's
just crossed
time
the
for
shit out of
T-Mobile
Steve.
halftime
Y'all, I have a
report.
cross,
All right,
nigga.
let's look at the team stats.
The first time I witnessed a
Welcome everyone. The second half of this 2K Sports NBA presentation getting
That was
underway.
so smooth.
We've got quite a battle going on in this one. And here are the Bucks.
You know what's so
Three-point
crazy?
lead.
When we played the Magic, we lost. And you know that's the white that Vince Carter did. So I caught her behind the back like that. Caught the assist.
Here's Red.
I was so
Off
sad.
the
I was
mark
like, I
from
could Vince Carter. It was fun to
They
see.
trail by 3. To the paint. Here's Red. Nails it from close range. He has 6.
That's a good example of excellent communication.
I got
The nice lead pass led his
all around the
teammates
screen.
right to the
And
rim.
boom, and hit on the center. It wasn't like contact, but it was contact. He was a front like.
And Mbamute corrals the miss inside. Shorty rips it down with one hand. They bring their lead to 7.
They tried to step
Too
up.
easy. Far too easy.
Flew in. I've been not everything over 17. I've been trying to get good assists, keep missing rotation. I went on a 2-game streak. Starting, they put me on the bench to see what Brandon Jr. could be interested in. Lost that game.
So it's Milwaukee. They haven't given up any points here in the second half. Here's Shorty, lays it in off the glass.
Kicked it to the right guy at the right time. That's a good pass.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
We traded Jose Carter wrong this year.
Let's take a peek now here at the league leaders in rebounding. You look at Lee, one of the game's best, second in the league.
You talk about rebounders. This guy is relentless, and that's why he's one of the very best we have in the league. He goes after all rebounds. He never gives up on a missed shot. Whether it's near him or not, this guy's using his spot.
We ain't got nobody on that team but David, and that's old.
The Knicks with the turnover.
You know the
Sure,
game
against
for
a
us.
special broadcast, a truly historic event in Dallas, Texas. The
Yeah,
biggest
the 21 on
NBA
it.
event of all time.
Yeah, that's what they say. He averaged on my team. But
Always
he
an
don't. Because
incredible
when I'm there,
event.
the nigga only
The
get 10
All-Star
points
game
or
really
less.
shows you how popular this game is. I mean, you walk around
Really,
and see
only nigga
fans
on my
from
team that's
all over
really
the world attending
So,
the
I did
festivities,
tell you.
having fun. They're from all walks of life, all genre is represented. They're interacting with different activities they have up. I mean, it really just shows you how much this league has grown over the past 2 decades.
And as you know, sometimes the foreign players are the biggest players in the league, and that's kind of the case right now. Without money right on down the line.
It's a worldwide game. Why anyone would want to leave this guy alone deep is beyond me.
A tight game here in New York.
Got 28 on it. After we had just exposed him.
Deflected. Stolen by the Knicks.
Get off my man.
Swing pass, right wing. Scooped up.
Good. That's slow ass
Here's Robinson. Does not get the go-ahead bucket.
Boy, they've really been scrapping for rebounds in this one. Neither club really dominating the other one.
Red's shot is right there. Now Blake.
Let me know where the ball
He's
goes.
got
Yeah,
8.
and then I'm already
29 seconds left in the third quarter.
way too early. Yeah, I know it was going to be here, but it's not bad to come.
Thomas is on it.
Awesome.
Harrington. It's blocked.
Good block.
Thomas with the denial, and it's still a 3-point ball game.
They'd be
No,
smart to
Aldo.
hold it now for the last shot.
Mike.
To 0. Here's Shorty.
But you take that process.
Amazing shot, Kevin. That's highlight reel material.
They're going to deserve respect,
Third, and it's been an exciting game. The score, 48 to 42. Shorty has played his heart out. 19 points and 3 rebounds.
Yeah, not flashy numbers, but his presence has definitely been felt out there. It's the little things,
That
Kevin.
was smooth. That
Getting
called the
them done.
ice. I said,
Quarter about
wait,
to
get out the
started here
way.
in what's been an entertaining game.
Scared to shoot. I was just talking about that. It was a 50, chat. I said, bro, my 3-ball only a 50. We put faith
Welcome
in
back to
it.
what's been a fantastic game. Mostly contested by 2 teams. Obviously want to win it
They
very
had no
badly
choice.
as we
They had
begin
no
play
choice.
in this much anticipated fourth quarter. Now Robinson.
You a shooter, so it benefits you to shoot. Me. Oh, that's a bad look. Oh, that's a bad look.
Here's Robinson. A missed 3.
You got to expect more out of him here. He's had a lot of difficulty this quarter, which in turn is making it difficult for them to cut into this deficit at all. These guys are in the zone. They're taking it over.
New York trailing. Robinson. The shot is off. And the Bucks going the other way right now.
They make them.
Warren. The jump hook. That's good.
It just goes to show you, folks, everybody in this league is a pro. Give them a shot like that and they'll knock it down.
Here's Hughes. He's got 5. Now Robinson.
And they still trying to force this nigga the ball.
Harrington the screen.
I'm a possession of it.
5 on the shot clock. He knocks down the first one.
You can see the difference here in the second half, and it's a big difference as far as their intentions on taking that ball inside. They're getting to the paint and drawing fouls at a much higher rate than they did in the first half.
So it's Milwaukee. 8-point game. Stolen away by Harrington. The break is on. Harrington the screen. Takes a 3. The shot by Hughes, no good.
With nobody around, he can't get it to fall. Won't see that very often, folks.
Got a piece of it. The steal by the Knicks. Just over 3 minutes left to the fourth. Here's Chandler. Trains it for 3.
I gotta get
In the first half, they didn't shoot
everything like
nearly as many
2. That's
threes.
if I get a
But
fast
finding
break off the
themselves
steal.
down now, they started to pass up a lot more triples.
New York on D. Trailing by 5. Shorty.
That shot didn't have a chance. He doesn't have the softest
He
touch.
probably
The
got a
defense
pull
was in his
over there.
jersey. Got to look for a
And
better shot.
notification.
Now Robinson. Here's Chandler. Laid in softly off the glass.
Oh, what a great look to get it inside. That's the way to find him when he's ready to score.
So it's Milwaukee. 3-point lead.
He's been extremely active out there, and he has the stats to prove it. Terrific hustle.
The Knicks still have plenty of time.
Yeah, don't worry about the scoreboard here. Just make the most of each possession. Don't have any empty trips.
Now Robinson. Chandler. Led with the rebound.
I think the D left him unguarded on purpose. They gambled he couldn't hurt them from outside, and guess what? He couldn't.
Now Mbamute. 6 points for him. Here's Shorty. Drains it from the corner.
He's taken center stage here in the second half. He's been getting bucket after bucket.
Know what I was saying? I had to take good ones. I had to make sure that we were gonna get
Scary in this chat. Fourth quarter, 1 minute, 50 seconds left. Fourth jump shot of the game. Bullshit. You're scared.
I'm not doing it. Look at the shot. Look at the accident. Oh, me. I literally get 20 points off free throws and goddamn.
Cheryl, what do you have?
Well, I had a moment to speak with the Knicks. He wants them to post up more. He thinks they can take advantage down there. We'll see if he's right. Back to you, Kev.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Oh, no.
Now Robinson. Here's Chandler from inside, and Mbamute snatches it inside.
Set out one whole quarter.
Shorty, guarded by
That's why he
Robinson.
stopped.
Warren backs in.
Why the fuck they make me spin?
I think you got
They know they
to
just so
throw in
good.
that one.
They did that shit.
Here comes Nate
They made
Robinson.
me spin in the circle.
Hughes. He's off from 3.
You have to question his shot selection, Kevin. Poor shots equal bricks and misses.
Here's Shorty. No good. And New York takes it the other way.
Soft ass, but
104 left to the 4th.
I really need to learn how to
left
do
here.
floater.
They have the ball, but they are going to need big plays to pull this off. That's a good decision there, Kevin. He got the shot off early, but he was open and he knocked it down.
And here are the Bucks now. They've led by as much as 10. Less than 1 minute left.
Dolphin.
Dumps it off. To 0.
I seriously.
Leads him with the pass.
Bro, how did
Stolen by
he drop my
Robinson.
pack?
The Knicks must score to stay alive. Inside, here's Harrington. Lays it in. Sweet time to lead into the rack.
Beautiful delivery with the bounce pass. He kept it away from the defense, which set up the shot perfectly.
Stolen away by Chandler. It's 1-on-1. Robinson. Off right iron. The Knicks will go for the intentional foul. They still got to foul them a second time to get into the penalty and send them to the strike.
Good decision, Kev. They're playing against 2 opponents now. The other team plus the shot clock.
The Bucks clinging to a small lead.
They could use a basket here, Kevin. It's getting close.
The Knicks
That's
commit the
trying to get that
intentional
last
foul
week.
and they'll try to extend the game.
Yeah, can't shoot. Those free
Sinks
throws.
the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. Gets them both, and it's a 5-point ball game.
Kevin, that trip to the line was huge, and he builds their lead to 2 possessions.
The Knicks take their last 22nd timeout. They trail by 5. 16 seconds left in the game. Clark, what's your take?
Every second counts now. You got to score quickly, then foul.
Oh,
Now Robinson. He's got 6. A turnover by New York.
He couldn't quite get enough on the ball on that pass. Got a finger on it, but not enough to keep it from sailing out of bounds.
ooh, I'd be safe.
And here are the Bucks now.
But I
It's a
swear I was
5-point
spamming
game.
behind the back. I
The
was
Knicks are intentionally fouled.
that's why I love to.
Target on the first. Sinks the second, and that increases their lead to 6.
Talk about a clutch free throw, Kev. That one just might have sealed the game.
The Knicks will take their very last timeout. They're losing by 6. 8 seconds left in the fourth. Clark, what are your thoughts?
You have to be impressed by their tenacity. Still fighting, but the odds are definitely not in their favor. They need to hit a quick shot here, preferably a 3, and then foul. Foul them to prevent the easy basket. You'll have to earn it at the line.
We can sleep. Warrior.
It's the first that makes it a 7-point lead. Can't connect on number 2. Here comes Nate Robinson. From half court, can't get it. The Bucks went the distance as they outlast the Knicks 60-53. For his steady play, Shorty is the Jordan Brand player of the game.
Yeah, Kevin, he was really stroking it. He shot the lights out, and there was just no one out on the floor who could stop him.
And that about wraps it up for Clark Kellogg, Cheryl Miller, and me, Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports.
Now that it's over, let's talk about what went right and then what went wrong. First off, you were very selective on your shots out there. That kind of patience impresses me. As a teammate, your job is to do everything you can do to put your team in a position to win. You definitely did that on the offensive end of the court. Moving on. And I'm going to say this the nicest way possible, but you really dominated the ball tonight.
Oh,
And
no.
not in a good
I'm
way.
pretty sure I done did.
Your teammates are there to help you, and vice versa. In short, don't be a ball hog. At the end of the day, that was a mediocre game. Mediocre play isn't what NBA teams are looking for.
Alright. End it there. Wait, show y'all niggas the schedule. Always starting over. Well, no, we started off good, man. This is what I was saying. This is our most successful. Man. Look at all that green. Shit before I got it. We still trash 17-31. Hey,
That sound better than my record. You know, we
finna get ready to replace the Pistons, though. All right, chat.